Hi, this card is an Easter card which I'm making. It features a little bunny peeking out of a little basket, which this is done by using die cuts and framelits. And this was a really cute card to put together, and I hope you like it. I made this paper in the background myself using small stamps that I have in different stamp sets. I have shown how to make your own designer paper in another video. I'll link to it below so that you could refer to it if you need to. So I'm going over all the materials that this card is going to need. It's going to seem like it's a lot of things, but it will all come together in the end. First, I'm going to need a card base cut at 8.5 by 5.5, a green mat cut 4 by 5.25, 2 white panels, which is just half a sheet of paper which has been cut in half. So these panels are 4.25 by 5.5. I need a brown piece of paper which I have already adhered to a piece of brown funfoam. The funfoam was adhesive on one side. So this is 2.25 by 5 inches. I also need a green scrap, which is about 3 inches by 2 inches, and some gold glitter tape. I'm trying to maximize the use of my glitter paper, so I'm going to show you a little trick how I got this out of that. So set that aside. Now the inks, this is when it's going to really seem crazy because I'm using a lot of inks for this one. And this is because of the background paper. It has so many different colors. So I have Rich Cocoa, Lilac Posies, Bamboo Leaves, Tangelo, Tuxedo Black, Desert Sand, Dandelion, and Summer Sky. All of these materials will be listed below. I also am going to be using Versafine Onyx Black. For the watercoloring, I'm going to be using a blue, a gray, 3 shades of brown, I've dropped one, an orange, a pink, and a green. And of course that means I'll be using my aqua pen. The stamps I'm using today is Garden Oasis by Fiskars, the Basket Bunch by Stampin Up. This has a lot of cute little sentiments and shapes. And I'll also be using My Kind of Peep by Simon Says Stamps. This is an adorable stamp set. Because it's going to be die cutting, I'm also going to be using the Lacy Ovals by Spellbinders. I'll be using this one. And the Classic Ovals Large, also Spellbinders. And I'll be using the Basket Builder Framelits dies from Stampin Up to punch out the bunny and the basket and the carrot. Okay, let me clear away a lot of this stuff and I will just jump right in and show you how to do the card. Okay, now this looks like a lot of stuff, but it'll go very quickly. What I have done is put each of the colors in order with the stamp that I intend to stamp already assigned to it. This will keep you from getting confused as you go. If you just had a bunch of stamps sitting over to the side here, you wouldn't be quite sure which color you meant for what. So that's why you see all of this here. It's not as bad as it looks. So I'm going to start off with the largest stamp, which is the green Bamboo Leaves for the leaves. And the thing to do is just go and stamp all over the paper, making sure that you get a pretty good representation all over the card, so the paper, so you don't have too many all going in the same place, and you want to go let's try that way, as uniform as you can. And the best way to do it is to ensure that you have a little bit going over the end of the paper, because that makes it look a lot more realistic. So I think I've almost got enough green. Okay, so I'm gonna clean this off. Set that aside. Okay, now I'm gonna move on to the orange. And you just stamp all over. I'm gonna speed this part up from this point on because it's basically stamp all over the paper, making sure I get a good coverage. It's the same step. Okay, here we go. Oh, and one thing, make sure that you are turning the stamps every which way so that you don't get just one direction. Okay, there we go. Easy as that. It was very fast, and now I have this paper that I can use on mini cards. I'm going to cut this paper up and set it aside and come back to it, but I just need one panel. So I need my paper trimmer, which has gotten out of hand, and I'm going to cut at 5 inches. And then again at 5 inches. And turn it and cut it at 3 3/4. And this also. Okay, this is I'm going to cut this at 4 1/4. Okay, so as you can see, now I can make 4 cards with this as the complete background, and I can make an additional 4 cards with just these strips on something, like put it across here and bring a little bit of interest like I am doing here for this gold glitter paper. But for now, I'm just going to take one sheet and set the rest aside, and I'll make other cards for that later. Okay, let me clear out some of this stuff and make some room. Now to the die cutting. I'm going to set aside the pieces that I don't need and bring in the pieces that I will be die cutting. Now what I'm going to do now is cut the bunny and the carrot and the basket. Now I'm going to need several steps to do this, and I'm going to try and go through it slowly so I don't confuse anything. The first thing I need to do is take the first of my panels, and I've already put my stamps in place onto the Misty tool. So I'm taking the Tuxedo Black and I am stamping black onto this. What I'm doing now is making a guide to help me line up my die cuts. I won't be using this per se. Okay, let's cut this, clean this up real quick, and we'll get back to this in a moment. actually, before I do that, let me just go right ahead and do the next stamping since I already have the stamps ready. So the basket is going to go onto the brown. This is the foam side, this is the paper side. So I'm just going to ink up the basket, hopefully. Using the rich cocoa. Okay, good coverage. Clean this up. And now using the Memento Black, I'm going to ink up the bunny and the carrot. And I'll take the second piece of white paper and put it in the MISTI. Okay, I got a little bit of on that, that's okay. Need a little bit more cleaning. Okay, now I need to bring in my big shot. Okay, I have my big shot, my magnetic platform, and my precision base plate together. So I'm going to first cut out the template which I made to show me where the stamps, the die cuts will go. So I'm taking this as a guide and I'm lining up the die cuts generally over where this is. I'm trying to be accurate. Okay, so now what I have is a guide to help me line up the die cuts. So you could save these and use it in something else, but I'm not going to do that. I just need the negative space to help me. So set this all aside. This intricate die has a lot of little bitty pieces. So I'm going to grab my piercing tool and free that. You just poke through the holes in the back and the piece will come. There we go. And just poke out the little holes. And you take the pokey tool and push through and you'll get all the little bits of paper that are still stuck in the hole. Okay. Set that aside because I'm probably going to need it again. Now, I take the little bunny rabbit and line him up with the negative space. And also for the carrot. And once I have it pretty sure that's where it needs to be, I just pop the die into the hole that was left behind in the negative space and it'll just go right in, hopefully. And there we are, carrot and bunny. Now don't throw this away because we're going to need this for something else. Now I'm going to do the grass. And there's a grass cutting die in here. If you didn't have this stamp set, you could also, this die cut set, there's also a Fiskars border punch which does grass. If you had that, that would also work just fine. Now for the frame, I'm going to try and save a little paper and cut the frame out of the inside of the mat, because once the paper that I have created is in place, you won't see that I have cut out the center of it. So this is a way to save cardstock, especially for the more expensive cardstock. You have to find these little tricks to help you as you can. Now I'm going to do a little watercoloring. You could have done this watercoloring before you die cut it, and on the hindsight I probably should have, but it'll be fine. Okie doke. Now to move on to the assembly. Now for my sentiment, I need to have the first one. It says, "May all your chocolate be solid." I'm stamping that in the black. A little bit up and to the left on the oval. And this one says Happy Easter. I'm stamping that in the green, just a little sideways. Okay. Neat. Now I'm taking the card base, and on the inside of the card base, I'm stamping the sentiment, which says, whoops, it says fly away. It says, "An Easter treat for somebody sweet." And that is going to be done in the Versafine Onyx Black, right in the center. And it looks like I have a little red on my hand. Not good. And I'm going to put a row of bunnies in chocolate. Well, it's not chocolate, but it's brown. Okay. Home stretch almost finished. Take my ATG gun and tape this to the panel. No one will know, it's completely covered. Now this, as you probably noticed, is not long enough to go side to side, so because it's behind this embellishment, I'm just going to cut it right in the center after I knock over everything in the house. That's about right. Little adhesive on both sides. This eyeballing it, make sure that I'm lining it up straight. I think I am. And the grass will go here. A little bit of tape on the back. I see I have a little thing still poking in there. To get that out. There. All right. I need some foam tape for the back of this. Make sure I got it right. Okay. Tape this down. Trying to hurry up because this video was so long as it is. My big foam tape wheel. There's the end. 3 pieces ought to do it. A little bit is going to show. I don't like that. There. Okay. Now, take this down. See? No one will be the wiser. And I saved a little bit of tape. Now for the foam tape, the tape, it sticks right to it, so you just go right across. Let me grab my bigger one. And put the tape on the back. Come here, bunny. Now, don't press the top down yet because we're going to need to tuck that bunny behind there. So we put a little bit of tape on the bunny. Tuck him there. And a little bit of tape on the handle. And tuck that there. And his little carrot. The tape on the basket should hold the carrot in place. And there we go, all finished. It went together a little bit longer than you may have wished, but there was a lot of steps with the making the paper and all this die cutting and showing how to use your negative space to help you with your die cutting. There you are. That's the card. I hope you'll try it yourself. I think it's really pretty. I'm not sure which one of my many friends and family is going to be getting this card, but stay tuned. We'll see. Thanks for watching. If you like my videos, please subscribe to my channel. I try to send out new content pretty frequently. Two times a day is my goal. So far, I've been pretty close to that. Thanks for watching and have a good day.